Hi friends, this video is for people who are still confused and not able to decide whether what happened in Iran is what Iranians wanted or is a war. Simplify it for you, I'm just going to summarize the whole story. So it all started from 1979 Islamic Revolution. Usse pehle, prior to that was Shah authoritarian rule. Although the Shah tried to modernize Iran, women got the right to vote, Western fashion and education spreaded, and but the secret police, Savak, tortured and jailed anyone who spoke against Shah. The rich got richer, the poor stayed poor. Religious leaders said that, the Islam was under attack, and anger grew stronger every day. Meanwhile, all this was happening, the religious activists or clerics, they thought that their religion was losing its value, its essence, because of the westernization that was pouring into Iran in 1960s, under the rule of Shah. So they also took it as an opportunity and stood, and that's when Ayatollah Khomeini returned to Iran after his 15 years of exile and undertook the government. Now, the thing to be noted is that I said Ayatollah Khomeini and not Ayatollah Khamenei, the one who just died in the joint air strikes. Means Ayatollah Khamenei was the successor of Ayatollah Khomeini when he died in 1989. Ayatollah Khamenei took to power, and later on, like almost immediately, he was made the supreme leader. Now, this whole supremacy or this whole regime was it focused on three important pillars. One of them was that our religion should stay pure. It should not attract any sort of influence from the westernization or Western countries. The number second was something called Vilayat-e-Faqih. I might not be pronouncing it right, but it basically translates to the guardianship of the jurist. So like under the system, a supreme leader, as was Ayatollah Khamenei, holds the ultimate authority over all branches of the government, like the military, the judiciary, the media, everything was under his control. Now, pillar number 3 is basically Islamic revolution and resistance, which means anti-Westernism. So basically, Khamenei frames Iran's mission as defending Islamic identity and independence against arrogant powers like US and Israel. Then after that, a lot of protests took place, a lot of riots were seen in Iran, and cases like Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old which was killed by morality police, which was one of the most disgusting law or thing made under the rule of Ayatollah Khamenei. The only task of the morality police was to make sure that women are dressed properly, they have their headscarf on, and that it is hiding each and every strand of their hair. If not, then they would brutally beat them to death. So all of these events, which is very obvious to understand, were kind of the signs from Iranians to show that they didn't want this, they didn't want any of this, they didn't want to be killed simply in the name of religion, they didn't want to sacrifice their lives, because young Iranians were growing up and they were looking at it as something called oppression they didn't want to be a part of. This war was basically a call for help, and that's how the US and the Israel stepped in and indirectly sort of helped Iranians free from the authoritarian rule. You must be confused that there are Iranians who are celebrating the death of Khamenei, and on the contrary, there are his loyalists who are mourning his death. So this is very basic, guys. If anything happens, like globally, then there are supporters and there are the people who do not support that. So basically, the people who are mourning his death or his loyalists are the people who are okay with people being killed simply in the name of religion, who are okay with people being tortured and arrested for not covering their head with the headscarf. These are those people who have been brainwashed. So this is for those people who commented on my previous video that I am brainwashed because I am with Iranians, I support Iranians. This is for you. It's not me who is brainwashed, it's you, and you need help.